don't know. I just searched for the group signal. Okay, well, run it. Oh my god. Barry, can you close the door? What? Oh. What? Just blast it? I'm sorry?
I have to get her full health.
Why the knight does what he does.
Are you ready?
Where are you again? You're losing, kid. There's a bunny. Where's the kitchen? Oh! that's a 3. That's a 3. That's a 3. Shake your light on me. Shake your light on me, please. No, it's not here anymore. It's not here anymore. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Oh, who did that? That was me.
Okay.
Just say it anyways. No, okay. We should do it when we see it. No, it just says I have to replace it when there's something. If it's not even okay. So let us know when you're starting to, and then we'll stop talking. Starting to. Right now? Yeah. Oh god, the buddy just vanished! Alright, everybody shut up. Did I say come back? I'm sorry, I was trying to shut up. Alright, shut up. You who haunt this place, in the name of the Lord, I command you to go back and fucking read! Get your line out of it! You who haunt this place, in... Did it work? It just walked right past both of us, dude, from the window. Did it work? I don't know. It bypassed us. It killed me. I think it might work. It's now dead. How the fuck did it work? I'm literally here. Fuck you! I'm not a demon. Oh shit, thanks. Oh my god, she's a grandson. Look, do you have any idea what this device is? No? I'll tell you. It's a great deal finder, and it just found you a great deal with today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Now, everybody already knows that Surfshark is a top-of-the-line VPN software that will protect your online information and privacy. Everyone and their mom has a VPN, so why not you? And why not the best of the best? The encryption? Uncrackable. Secure, region locked, unused, forget about it. This Shark is super easy to set up and use. Plus, it comes with a ton of cool features like Surfshark Alerts that notify you immediately if your online information is ever breached. And you can use it on any number of devices under a single subscription, which you can get currently for 83% off and 3 months for free if you use the code IGE at checkout. So go and click the link at the top of the description, and the code will be applied for free when you check out. That's part of the deal for the 30-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. So get protected today with the Shark. Oh, you're on the back! What? You're on the back. Where? Where's the book? Oh, no, wait, that's my picture. Oh.
What's going on, guys? My name is Ghost and welcome back to another video. So, you started a new character in Dark Souls Remastered and you need a weapon. Well, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'll show you the top 5 weapons with some bonus ones mixed in that I recommend for new players. I didn't have 10, so I couldn't say top 10. There's like 8 of them, maybe 9, maybe 7, but top 5 sounds better than top 8, so we're gonna go with top 5. Anyways, let's just get right into it. So, for the base 5, I have 2 strength weapons and 2 dex weapons, as well as 1 magic weapon for all you freaks out there that like to cast spells. And let's start off with our first strength weapon. So, from Firelink Shrine, you're just going to want to follow the path that I'm taking on screen. Same thing for all of these methods, just
Hi, what's up there people? Just wanted to give you a video guide here on how to get the true version and also the cursed version of the Great Sword of Artorias in Dark Souls Remastered. So you're going to want the Soul of Sith for starters. You want to have defeated Sith. I've already earned the Great Sword of Artorias, but I'm not sure if this is the true version or the cursed version. But if you look at the parameters along the bottom, it says CC, CC, and then a bunch of numbers on the right hand side. Tried a bunch of different swords, long sword, short sword, put them all to +10, went back to Anor Londo, to the blacksmith. None of them worked. It was all, I could only forge that same version. This, however, the straight sword hilt, is the sword that you need to get the alternative version and pop that Knight's Honor trophy, and I'm sure for a lot of you, the Platinum trophy to finish the game. So first things first, go down to Andre and make this hilt +10. Okay, so once we've got that up to +10, we'll head on back to the bonfire and we'll head to the chamber of the Princess, which is in Anor Londo. And once we're here, we'll just head on to the blacksmith, so just follow where I go if you're unsure of how to get to the blacksmith. we're at the bottom of the stairs. Here we are with the blacksmith. So you go to modify equipment, and see here I tried the short sword, but along the bottom you can see the parameters were the same as the great sword I already had. Also tried the long sword and the barbed sword, and again parameters were all the same. But now if I show you the hilt, where are we? There we go. You can see the parameters are all different, meaning it's the alternative version. So you've got EC, EC, BB, and the numbers are different too. So this is the one we're going to want to forge.
Dark Souls. How to get a straight sword hilt.
Alright, this weapon sucks, and that's not exactly surprising. The straight sword hilt is a useless starting weapon that you already have on you when you start a new character. It does only about 2 damage per hit, so not exactly a viable weapon. In fact, not even a red custom ring will help you turn the damage output of this piece of garbage into something useful. So how would you manage to survive Dark Souls if you realize to use the straight sword hilt as your only weapon? Well, let me show you. Create a new character and pick the Thief as the starting class. This automatically grants you the Master Key, meaning that we can pick the Black Fire Bombs as our starting gift. So this way, we don't even need a weapon at all to get past the Asylum Demon. Now of course, consumables will only get you so far, but they will get you far enough to turn the straight sword hilt into something that actually does damage. And no, it's not by upgrading it. We're going through the entire game without weapon upgrades or infusions. At Firelink, do the usual pickups. Some regular fire bombs, lowered bones, and there are several souls to pick up. Level up strength from 9 to 10, so we can wield a better shield later on. And to get 1,000 extra souls for free, aggro the Crestfallen Warrior, which takes a lot of hits because it's damage based at what point he will start attacking you. But eventually he will become aggroed and he will start following you. And if you then jump across the gap to where you find the Ring of Sacrifice, you will automatically run to the edge to his death out of, well, sheer depression. And speaking of the Ring of Sacrifice, make sure to pick it up because it will play a vital role later on. And then go down the elevator to New Londo, pick up another soul, and buy a Sorcerer's Staff from Rickard. Don't worry, it's only 500 souls. Open up the gate to the Valley of the Drakes with the Master Key, and there's another soul around the corner. Optionally, you can pick up the Dragon Crest Shield, which will likely result in you getting killed by the dragon. However, I leave it behind anyway, because I will be using the Crest Shield instead. And as I said before, the Red Tearstone Ring won't help you out in this run, so we're leaving that one behind as well. I know it sounds weird, but I will explain that later on. Grab the Crest Shield for the stamina region, and it's still effective for blocking, even though it does not offer 100% physical damage resistance. And when making your way upwards towards the Undead Parish, make sure to grab the bow and arrows. Now, why would we need those if we're not allowed to kill anyone with it? Well, 2 reasons, and one of which is that we need a single arrow to draw the attention of one specific hollow in a minute. Get up to the Undead Parish, and optionally, if you want a 100% physical defense shield, you can also just buy one from Andre for 1,000 souls. Make sure that you rest at the bonfire, and now we need to equip the bow and arrow, because we are going to perform a glitch that's used by speedrunners, which I have not, so I do it with a little bit less elegance. However, it's relatively easy to perform. Of course, it will take a little bit of practice to get the positioning right. In fact, I had to learn this myself in order to do this run. But don't worry, you will get it done. fire an arrow at this specific hollow in order to draw his attention, and then run to the second pillar on the left of the staircase. Position yourself against the edge, bait a parry from the hollow, and repose with your fist. Doing this in the right position will mess up the camera and make it stationary above you. It's very awkward to control yourself this way, but while the camera is in this position, run all the way to Sense Fortress. Now if you do this incorrectly, the repose will put you out of bounds and you will automatically die. So that will tell you very clearly that your positioning is off. All you need to do is keep running until you see the indication on screen that you've entered Sense Fortress. Then of course switch your equipment back and quit the game. If you then reload the game, you will actually appear within Sense Fortress even though the gate is still closed. The reason for that is because it wasn't loaded due to the messed up camera. So this means that we can now make our way to Analondo without ringing the bells of awakening. However, here's the tricky part. We cannot sit at any bonfire, and we still don't have a viable weapon to defend ourselves with. So we still have to rely on consumables, specifically fireballs of course, in order to defeat the Iron Golem. Now, the reason that we cannot sit at the bonfire is because that would mean that we are stuck. The gate is still closed after all. So the only way back is by dying or warping back using a Homeward Bone, Dark Sign, or dare I say, the Lord Vessel. But defeating ONS under these circumstances is not really recommended, of course. So why are we even going this way in the first place? Well, just wait and see. Now, I assume that you already know how to run quickly through Sense Fortress, but just in case, I will leave the footage uncut and I will give some tips for certain sections. Although I'm not a speedrunner, of course. I mean, they basically run through here without stopping. I have to be a bit more careful, and I assume that that will apply to you as well. Wait until the serpent has thrown lightning, and then run between the axes and simply iframe the next lightning bolt. Oh, and step on the switch so that the serpent boy knows that he is being a bit of a dick. Turn around and hold up your shield, because you cannot kill the serpent here, and then run as soon as the boulder passes. However, you need to have full stamina, so if the serpent hits your shield, immediately release L1 after that, so your stamina regenerates before you start running. The next serpent is blocking your way, but if you simply hit him once, you can run past him. Oh, but remember that the straight sword hilt has 0 range, and yet it can still bounce off against walls. Yeah, From Software has a very obscure take on how walls are supposed to function in this world. Oh, and don't hesitate at the next X-trap, otherwise you might get hit in the back by a lightning bolt. Wait here until the giant throws one of his bombs, before grabbing the shiny over there. Otherwise he may throw it right on top of your head. Okay, we still have fire bombs, but we need a few more. Unfortunately, the vendor over here sells black fire bombs. Now, 10 black fire bombs together with the regular ones from Firelink should be enough. In fact, it's even possible with a few less. But actually, you might want a few more, because as you will see, I actually barely managed to make it. And given that you only get one shot, it might be better to play it a bit safer than I did. crossbow hollow is blocking your way, but you can simply kill him by knocking him over the edge. Alright, here's how to deal with Iron Golem under these circumstances. Run up to him, dodge through his wind projectile, get underneath him and throw 2 firebombs at his feet. Don't lock on, point the camera down instead. Then get out of the way because he might grab you and throw another one. Unfortunately, I missed, so that sucks because we barely have enough bombs. And then simply do it again. And now a third time. However, if you start stomping, you might miss, so get away and throw another one, which I also missed, but the next one should get him to stagger. Now keep throwing all of your firebombs, otherwise he will recover. And when I ran out, well, I simply finished him off with my useless broken piece of rust. But you know what? That's actually a good thing, because in a way, we have now defeated him with the straight sword hilt. Well, sort of at least. Alright, do not forget that you cannot sit at the bonfire, so just immediately go down the elevator in Anorlando. Ignore the gargoyle, obviously, and immediately get upon the whatchamacallit leading to the broken window. Don't hesitate when going up the ladder, otherwise you will get a throwing knife up your backside. Okay, so our target is the chandelier. Of course, we're not going to swing from the chandelier, but we are going to knock it down instead. However, the Pagan Guardians are in our way. Fortunately, if you stand near the corner with your shield up, they will not follow the beams perfectly when they get close, and they try to move directly towards you, and thereby fall to their deaths. Yeah, I'm noticing a theme here. I guess everyone in this world suffers from crippling depression. Actually, that's pretty much canonical, if you ask me. Now for the last one, you can simply run and then jump immediately when pressing the left thumbstick to the right. Alright, now we need to equip moment bones, but more likely it's the ring of sacrifice that we need to rely on. So definitely make sure to equip that ring. Because now we need to pick up the great magic weapon spell that came out of the chandelier that we knocked down. However, that means that we're going to get gangbanged by several Pagan Guardians, hence the Ring of Sacrifice, to prevent us from losing the souls that we have acquired so far. Wait, what the fuck? All the way from there? Sure, from software, that seems legit. Well, anyway, get the spell and, well, get secured. But that's alright. Well, as I've said before, with the gate in Sam's Fort still closed, one way to get back is by dying, and due to the Ring of Sacrifice, we are automatically back in Under Parish, but with 40,000 souls, and we have a great magic weapon. And why is that spell so important? Well, the Straight Sword Hilt itself may do practically no damage whatsoever. But magic buffs add a fixed amount of damage based on your catalyst, which in turn is affected by your intelligence stat. So now we can use all of the souls we acquired to raise our intelligence and attunement stats, and we already bought a catalyst from Rickard. And that means that we can, well, let's just call the Straight Sword Hilt like a container for pure magic damage, meaning that all of our actual damage comes from the buff itself. So in that sense, we have turned it into a viable weapon. Of course, only when the buff is active. As soon as it wears off, you will go back to doing only 2 damage again. So that's going to be the tricky part of this run. However, there are ways of dealing with that as well. But first, since we're already here, let's take care of the gargoyles. And yes, that's still a mandatory boss fight, even with the sand skip, because in order to place the Lord Vessel later on, we we need Friend to appear, which requires us to ring both bells of awakening. Of course, do not forget to pick up the Firekeeper soul, and since we can use Great Magic Weapon 3 times, make sure to use it before going up the stairs. We should only need one for the gargoyles themselves, so that even gives us one spare usage. Crap, everyone is following me. Okay, this is turning into a bit of clusterfuck, so let's just make a run for it. Ah, son of a bitch. God damn it, now they're blocking my way. And there we are. Okay, it's not the most elegant way, but we are where we need to be. Because we went to Anolondo first to get Great Magic Weapon, rather than the regular Magic Weapon, plus a whole bunch of levels to put into Intelligence to boost the Magic Adjust stat for staff, our damage output is actually quite easy. However, the weapon itself is still difficult to use, because you whip with it constantly. You have basically zero reach, and sometimes even when you're touching a boss, you still manage to miss somehow. In fact, even though I had enough time and DPS to kill the first gargoyle before the second one showed up, however, since I miss it, I can actually get it done. And it requires both as much. Yeah, don't usually fuck up. As free as possible. Fortunately, when you only have the second one left, you will most likely make it to a square grab attack, which you can simply side strafe and then attack from the side of the line. And because you always have quite quickly. However, despite all of that, only a few seconds after the hard blow and then the magic gargoyle, and that's obviously the player fights. Meaning that is often we need to solve rather quickly. But first we can have a quick, of course. I will go back to the bonfire and move on to the best back to our players. And because the gargoyles are dead, we'll try to stop it. So he's on the lens, which is canonically the way he died, of course. And if you then quit and reload the game, the Ring of Favor and Protection will be where he was sitting. And then we're going to run through Undead Work and make a stop at the Undead Merchant, and you will soon see why. But while I'm running there, the reason why the Club Ring is extra useful on this run is because I will be putting all of my levels into Intelligence and do that stupid. Now, having said that, you don't actually have to do that. This guide is aimed at non-tanking strategies and maximizing damage output. Of course, that doesn't mean that you have to do that as well. You can also choose to go for a low damage output and vitality and endurance, and simply wear heavy armor, so you can tank a lot of hits. That's up to you, of course. I'm simply going to level my intelligence stat all the way up to 60, which is the hard cap, so that will be the maximum damage output possible. Yeah, that's all later on. First, we need to deal with the fact that Great Magic Weapon is only active for a short while. So what we need is the Lingering Dragon Press Ring that extends the time that our magic buff is active. Moreover, it's also helpful, in fact pretty much required for the fight against ONS, to have the regular magic weapon as well, as a backup, given that we have limited uses. Both things can be acquired from the direction of and we need the investment scheme from the Undead Merchant. Now, of course, don't be a dick and just buy it from him for 1,000 souls instead of killing him. Now, I don't mind killing him, but I am a dick, so that's different. Then continue onwards towards the ladder, and make sure to clear away the 4 hollows in front of it. Now, climb to the top of the ladder, but don't move. Turn the camera around, and gracefully roll to the ledge down there. Okay, fuck me, let's try that again. Okay, so gracefully roll onto the motherfucker. Okay, again to the top of the ladder and roll onto that ledge with some motherfucking grace. Oh, nice, first try. And then run up against the wall and then push the thumbstick right and immediately jump. This is a quick way to get to lower Undead Work, especially helpful if you either can't or don't want to do the sand skip.
because this allows for very early access to regular magic weapon. In that case, it would likely be a suicide run, but in our case, we can in fact take care of the dogs and hollow thieves. But keep in mind that you have zero range with this weapon, so make good use of your shield. Block and then counterattack. Of course, dogs can still randomly jump all over the place, so fuck them. That's never really a good way of handling dogs. Okay. Alright, open up the door with the residence key. The master key doesn't work on this door after all. 3 bricks and hold it going back to Firelink. There we can buy the regular magic weapon spell from him. But of course the other thing we want from him is the lingering Dragon Crest ring, which extends the duration of spells. Unfortunately, we do not have enough souls, and it's a whopping 20,000 souls. However, not to worry, we now have access to a guaranteed way to get that exact number, namely by killing the Stray Demon. And also let me demonstrate why we went to Anolondo first, because as you can see, even with all the levels that we already put into intelligence, regular magic weapon is significantly weaker than great magic weapon. However, it is helpful to have as a backup, or simply to use against regular enemies when you want to save the great magic weapon users. Alright, approach the crumbling floor from the exit side, not the bonfire side. And after dropping down, immediately get into the corner. This allows us to heal from the fall damage and apply our magic buff without the Stray Demon noticing us. For some reason, even though the floor fell down, or whatever. Now I assume you already know how to fight the Stray Demon, but let's focus on a couple of things to keep in mind. You always want to attack him from behind, but his explosions reach slightly behind him. So move away when the explosion happens, and then immediately back again. Also, his tail sticks out, so that's a much safer target. And keep in mind that when he does his giant butt slam, he has a lingering hitbox when he smashes down. So don't get close to him too early. Also, his catalyst is part of the hitbox, so you can in fact get squashed by it, even though you aren't underneath the demon itself. Now, our damage output is decent, but not all that great, and since we're doing this fight in order to get the lingering Dragon Crest ring, our spell isn't active for that long, so you will have to reapply it. And that's obviously the dangerous part of the fight. Fortunately, this boss is quite slow, and there are a lot of safe opportunities, specifically when he flies up to do the butt slam, or when he does the overhand explosion. But not the quick sideways explosion attack, because he recovers quite fast from that, so that's not very safe. Alright, so now we have something to extend the duration of our magic buffs, but we will also need something to increase our actual damage output. Now, as I've said before, the red tearstone ring is useless in this run, and the reason for that is because it doesn't increase the damage of any buff that you apply. So that means that it would only give us 10 extra AR. Not even 10 extra damage, merely 10 extra AR. In other words, the extra damage from RTSR is applied pre-buff. Fortunately though, that does not apply to Power Within. So that will in fact give us a significant damage boost. Of course, we don't have a Pyromancer flame yet, but we can get one from Angie, or however you pronounce his name, after beating Quelaag. Now, of course, if you would really want to get it before Quelaag, you could go and defeat Capra Demon and free Laurentius from the depths, and he will also give you a Pyromancer flame. However, Quelaag will be quite doable without Power Within. Of course, you first need to actually get it. And it's quite a ways up from the bottom of Blighttown. So it's not likely that you are not aware of the route you need to take in order to acquire it. So allow me to show you the easiest way to get it. First, in the bonfire, of course, we'll need to die along the way. But we need to return here anyway, so this allows us to hold the phone back after we get Power Within. But I would advise you to simply farm a few of those in Darkwood Garden. Otherwise you'll have to go to this area while being poisoned. And if you get toxic on top of that, your death is pretty much guaranteed. Fortunately, you will notice that suddenly, simply out of nowhere, I get purple loss. And that's because if certain enemies drop down to the depths, you automatically get those, even without having to pick them up. No idea why that is, but it's definitely a good thing in this case. Gravity. And hey, as annoying as Upper Blighttown is, it's actually quite satisfying when you can use the way it is constructed to your advantage. Alright, after you've taken out all of the enemies here, it is safe to attack the wall insect. However, make sure that you don't push yourself forward too far. So do single attacks, otherwise you will automatically push yourself forward. And then the insect can actually still attack you. So make sure that doesn't happen, because you do not want to have to do this all over again. Okay then, now we have power in, might as well attune it already, but of course we cannot use it until after being queer-like. Fortunately I got some purple moss from those enemies, so I can fight queer-like without being poisoned, or being forced to wait until the poison wears off.
You got nothing to hold off on this.